Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Saturdays with Tara Hangout on Air. I'm Mary Beth, and we're at the Law of Attraction Club on the web at the loaclub.com. So, this call today is our summary of the theme for the week, and it's open. It's an open call as well. It will be followed by open discussion and live Q&A on our open call conference line. So stick around if you want to ask any questions about our upcoming Change Your World 30-day program, which begins in 7 days. So that's next Saturday. So if you'd like to join this program, go to the loaclub.com/changeyourworld. Today's topic is a good one. Know who you are, decide what you want, create it by thinking yourself into that new reality. So now we're going to hand the call over to Robin and Tara.
Welcome to this meeting of our minds. Our intent here today is to give you our perspective on you in your game of life on Earth. And by reflecting back to you the vision that we see, to remind you of your true nature and the power that you have. For some of you, this will be a sort of revision summary of all that's significant about you and your world, and the techniques and processes for creating what you want. Because you see, you are a thought-created human in a thought-created world, which means changing you and your world is simply a matter of changing your thoughts. It's simple, but maybe not so easy. So let's talk about how you can do it. We'll start with who you are and why you are here. Then we'll move to those two important questions. How do you feel and what do you want? And then we'll ask you, do you plan to get there? And if so, how? The change mechanism is simple. It's a thinking process. What makes it not so easy is that most of your thinking stays within the confines of the status quo reality you've already created. It's time for some new thinking habits. You chose this game of life on Earth, and here you are. Some of you tell us that calling it a game is trivializing something that's holy and sacred and profound, because your experiences here are part of the journey of your soul, and what could be more important and serious than that? Well, we understand. All of that makes sense if you believe you will always exist as the individual consciousness you know as you, and that your visit here to this external and pre-existing world is just one chapter in that soul journey of yours. But it's not like that at all, you see. What you believe creates you and shapes you. If and when you choose a new belief and line up with that new belief at all levels, it recreates and reshapes you. Then there's this thing we call the law of attraction, although that name doesn't come close to describing its significance. It's the fundamental organizing principle of all conscious energy, and it means that each new shape you choose attracts a mirror-matching context. So there is not one shape that's you forever. You exist timelessly in infinite shapes in infinitely different realms. And making a new belief choice steps you into a different one of those versions, which from a time-based perspective, you can think of as already existing. So already existing alternatives are there that you can step into by making these new choices of yours. Right now, your mirror matching context is an avatar that's a physical you, and you're on a physical space-time Earth. You're a thought-created human in a thought-created world, which means changing you and your world is simply a matter of changing your thoughts. The fundamental you behind all of that is a timeless, spaceless consciousness, an inseparable extension of the collective consciousness of Source. And the reason you chose to be here is to experience the joy of making new choices and creating new things in this very focused life on Earth. We want you to get the significance of that. The reason you chose to be here is to experience the joy of making new choices and creating new things in this very focused life on Earth. You see, this game of life on Earth is not an end in itself. It is simply the stage on which you have chosen to play out your experiences. And the joy of being here is in the joy of creation. The joy of existing is the joy of creating new things. And so the very purpose of this focused existence of yours is to experience making changes. And so to settle for your lot in life and treat it as a fixture and unchangeable by you, can you see, is moving against, is standing in the way of everything that you chose to be here for. So yes, we would say life on Earth is a game, a very big game, but there's nothing sacred about it. It's a fantastic story, but it's just your current story. And you get to choose where it goes, how it goes, when it goes, how it changes, what it changes into, whether you step out of it and into it, whether you step away from it forever, whether you go somewhere else into some new realm. All of that is your choice. So big change, small change makes no difference. The principle is the same. It's as easy to create a galaxy as a hot meal. If and when you choose a new belief and line up with that new belief at all levels, it recreates and reshapes you, and a new matching context wraps itself around you. That's the world in this game of life on Earth, the world you perceive around you. It's your matching context. That's the simple truth. So why isn't it easy to do? It's that lining up part that's tricky, because alignment means that the memories in your subconscious mind agree with the new story your conscious mind has just cooked up. And if you're making a new choice on a subject where the old choice is a well-practiced belief, it's going to take commitment, focus, and practice to get that new choice into alignment. The good news is that by law of attraction, when you make a new aligned belief choice about your world changes to match that belief. The not so good news is the same. That by law of attraction, when you make an aligned belief choice about your world changes to match that belief. And that reinforces your decision. Can you see how belief choices are therefore self-reinforcing? Can you also see that you've spent a lifetime practicing the truth of that reality of yours, the sum of your old choices? And minute by minute, week by week, year in and year out, in almost all of your waking moments, this is what you are focused on, this so-called reality. This is your pattern of expectations. It's the definition of everything that exists in that reality. It's the blueprint for your world. And that is what you see around you. And that is what you experience as reality. So if an old belief choice is no longer serving you, which is bringing a version of the world to you that is something that you want to change, and some belief choices are not going to be serving you, you need to find a way to break out of that reinforcing cycle. This is not a trivial exercise. Now, we are talking of this as being simple, but not necessarily easy. And we're not wishing to make it sound like it's a tremendous uphill climb, but we are wanting you to see that this so-called reality of yours is very powerful and all-pervasive and in your face, so to speak. And most of you have practiced that it's truth. And so moving away from that initially is going to take focus. It's going to take encouragement. It's going to take belief and all sorts of things that you will need to bring to the party here in order to get yourself into this new place. It is not a trivial exercise. Can you also see when we say you can make a new choice, we're talking about changing so-called reality. Maybe not much, but maybe a lot. Do you really get what that means? You see, you can believe in the law of attraction. You can believe that by focusing on something that you want and getting into the place of eager anticipation of it, you can bring it about. That's the wonderful part of the law of attraction. But there are going to be things where you bump up against this reality of yours, this so-called permanent thing, this world that you are living within and dealing with and sharing with everybody else. So we're talking about changing that. We want you to understand what that means. It means believing in who you are and the power you have. It means committing to yourself that you will begin a new way of thinking. And it means practicing new habits to replace old ones. Believing that you can is the first component of change. And with most of you, we would say with all of you, belief is not a black and white thing. There's more belief and less belief. There's more optimism and more pessimism. There's more thinking that you can together with maybe you can't. So it is, if you like, a process. But believe that you can, ultimately, to the extent that you believe you can, is the first factor in this change process. The second factor, as we've been discussing recently, in affecting change is the emotional intensity of your focus. Strong desire is a powerful force for change. This one's partner, Eva, says that emotion is the fuel for the engine of change. And that's a pretty good way of looking at it. So, belief first. Second factor is the power of your thought, the power of your emotion, the power of your wanting, the strength of your desire. Strong desire is a powerful force for change. The third factor is how consistently you practice that new choice. And that means recognizing when you're slipping back into status quo thinking. In your subconscious, which does most of your decision making, which does most of the stepping you and having you deal with the world, the subconscious walks you and talks you and drives your car. It is the major definition of your world and the way in which you survive within your world and thrive within your world. It is there. And if you step back into status quo thinking, which contradicts what you have been practicing as a new choice, then you are, if you like, tipping the scale one way and then tipping it another. You're saying, I want this, and then you're saying subconsciously, no, this is the way things are. And can you see that you're bouncing back and forward, and the universe is wanting to deliver to you that which you want, but is waiting for you to become consistently aligned with that thought in order that it can appear around you. So recognizing when you're slipping into status quo thinking and reinforcing the new story, bringing up the vision of where you want to be on a regular basis. And every time you slip into status quo thinking is the way in which you consistently practice your new choice. So these are the three, if you like, elements of this change process. And these are the three elements that we are encouraging you into. Believe that you can, want it, allow for the strength of your desire to come through. Stay away from where's my stuff, which is doubt, which takes us back to the first component. When you say, where's my stuff, and start looking for it and regretting that it's not there already, you are destroying your belief in the change process. To the extent that you can stay in eager anticipation with strong desire, you have a powerful force for change. And then notice when your status quo thinking drags you back into that old pattern, notice it, allow it to slip away, and reinforce that new choice of where you want to be. So, change means enrolling your subconscious as an ally in the change process in many ways. We just talked a little about your subconscious in that it does most of the decision making. Almost all of the decision making is done in this sort of status quo world, in this memorized vision of what you have taught it to believe is reality. And that is the blueprint for your world. But you can enroll your subconscious as an ally in the change process, which moves it from the property, from the way in which it resists change. It starts to move it in the direction of allowing change to occur and encouraging change to occur. And you will notice as you move into these processes and you begin telling a new story and you allow for your subconscious to come along for the ride, so to speak, that you'll begin to have an awareness of things that you did not have before, an ongoing awareness, which is what your subconscious is now maintaining, an ongoing and ever-present awareness of who you are and the power that you have. That's what your subconscious as an ally can bring to the party. And we also talk, of course, about change means to live within the context of these two questions. How do I feel and what do I want now? Always good questions to ask. How do I feel and what do I want now? So let's ask you, how do you feel now? What do you want now? Do you plan to get there? And if so, how? And of course, we are here to support you on your journey. We are looking forward to interacting with you and being a part of you on your journey, because we are attracting you into our world because this is the fun we get from interacting with you. We're intersecting briefly in these exchanges of these meetings of the mind, if you like. So even as you are attracting us into your world, through these means, through these words, through these sounds, through these people that if translate for us. So you are attracting us into your world and we are attracting you into our world. And this meeting of the minds here is our clearing in the forest where we intersect. And we are enjoying the journey with you. And as we said, we are here to support you on your journey. Good.
Okay, so if you've been following us in this community, maybe on YouTube or our guest emails, you know we don't talk about the world, we talk about your world. It's your unique moment-by-moment creation. And what does that mean? It means there's nothing you cannot be, do, or have. And we also don't put ourselves on a pedestal because we're all learning how to play this game. And our mission is not just to answer your questions and send you on your way and hope you can figure it out. We want to engage with you and support you on your journey. So our new program, Change Your World, is a powerful part of that support system. It starts in 7 days, and you get daily calls, 20 to 30 minutes long with a small group. And so these are your check-ins, how your day went, and what is it that you want to pre-pave or create for the following day. You also get complimentary access to our Law of Attraction live Q&A conference calls, and you can ask any question you want. And you get special guided audio downloads just for that program. So if you would like to become a part of this new program, let us know. You go to the loaclub.com/changeyourworld if you'd like to sign up, or if you have any questions, you can let us know and we'll get back to you. So Robin, that's about it. Tara, if you'd like to go over to our live Q&A now. So this is an open call, so anybody on this call, whether you're a member or not, you can ask questions about